welcome to the class. Today we are going to discuss amino acids, which is important, right? You can see amino acid is a combination of how many words? Two words. What are the two words? Amino plus acids. Amino plus acids, right? So what is this amino here? Amino stands for this group. Clear? And acid stands for this group. So we call it amino acid because the carbon is linked with amino group on one side and with carboxylic group on other side, right? And this is hydrogen which is attached to the carbon. This group keeps on changing or varies from amino acids to amino acids, right? In case of acidic group, acidic amino acid, this group will contain a acidic group. For example, say aspartic acid. For example, say aspartic acid. For aspartic acid, the R group will be CH2 COOH. So this is what will be present in case of R, right? And for basic group, the acidic group will not be present. Some basic groups will be present, right? So this is how amino acid structure is, and this is how on the basis of this R group, amino acids are termed as acidic amino acid and basic amino acids, right? Okay. Next, amino acids, let's move to the definition. These are the organic compounds which combine to form protein. Already we have seen in our protein class that the proteins are made up of amino acids. So if I draw this linear chain of amino acids, A4, A5, right? So this linear chain of amino acids, we called it what? We called it proteins, right? And as amino acids are able to form proteins, we call them building component of proteins. What we call them? We call them building component of proteins, right? These biomolecules are involved in several biological and chemical functions in a human body and are the necessary ingredient for the growth and development. Obviously, if we know that proteins are needed for growth and development, and amino acids are acids which forms or which are known as building component of protein, that means amino acids will form protein, right? So we can also say that amino acids are helping in growth and development of a body, right? So there are 300 amino acids present in the nature. Out of 300 amino acids, only 20 to 22 amino acids participate in protein synthesis. And these amino acids which participate in protein synthesis, we call them standard amino acids. We call them what? Standard amino acids. So these are, we called it standard amino acids. So these are, we called it standard amino acids. Coming to your amino acid, so here I have defined the structure of amino acid only, which contains one N carboxylic group, another NH2 group, H, and here it is your R group. This is the structure. Next, coming to properties. Properties, what? The amino acids are having high melting and boiling point. Their melting point and boiling point is high. Amino acids are white crystalline solid substances. In taste, few amino acids are sweet, tasteless, and bitter. Few amino acids are sweet, few are bitter, and you can say few are tasteless. That means they do not have any taste. Most of the amino acids are soluble in water and are insoluble in organic solvent. Those amino acids which are soluble in water are known as polar amino acids. And those which are insoluble are known as non-polar amino acids, right? So this is the properties of amino acids. Coming to essential and non-essential amino acid, if we talk about essential amino acid, these are amino acids which cannot be synthesized by our body. Which cannot be synthesized by our body, and that's why we called it essential, because we have to get it from the diet, right? And non-essential amino acids are those amino acids which can be synthesized by our body, which can be synthesized by our body, right? So here we will see the examples. So if we talk about the you can say non-essential amino acids, say here, which easily synthesized by our body, are called non-essential amino acids, and these include your cysteine, glutamine, proline, glycine, glutamic acid, aspartic acid, serine, tyrosine, arginine, right? These are your non-essential amino acids. Coming to essential amino acid, these cannot be synthesized by our body. So if you see, they cannot be synthesized by our body. This includes your isoleucine, histidine, lysine, leucine, phenylalanine, tryptophan, methionine, threonine, and valine, right? So these are the examples of your essential amino acids. Coming to functions, first we will see the function of essential amino acids. Right? Phenylalanine helps in maintain the healthy nervous system. Valine promotes muscle growth. Threonine, it helps in promoting the function of the immune system. Immune system means our body's defense system. Immune system is defense system of our body. Tryptophan. Tryptophan is what? It is involved in the production of vitamin B3. Isoleucine. It helps in the formation of hemoglobin, stimulating the pancreas to synthesize insulin, and it also helps in transport of oxygen from the lungs to the various parts. Coming to methionine. Methionine is used for the treatment of kidney stones. So if there is a kidney stone, if doctor prescribe for a capsules, then that capsules contain methionine to some amount, because it helps in the treatment of kidney stones, maintaining healthy skin, and also used in controlling the invade of pathogenic bacteria. That means it do not allow the pathogenic bacteria to enter inside the cell. Clear? Leucine is involved in promoting protein synthesis and growth hormones. Coming to lysine. Lysine is necessary for the formation of antibodies, hormones, enzymes, and in the development and fixation of calcium inputs. Histidine. Histidine is involved in many enzymatic process and in the synthesizing of both RBC and WBC. For both histidine is used, right? So these are the function of essential amino acid. Coming to the function of non-essential amino acids, if you see non-essential part, alanine, which functions in removing toxins from our body. So we can say that it helps in detoxification. It helps in detoxification. Cysteine acts as an antioxidant and provide resistance to our body and inhibits the growth of hair, nails, etc. Glutamine promotes a healthy brain. So glutamine helps in maintaining the brain function and brain system in a healthy way, right? Glycine is helpful in maintaining the proper cell growth, and glycine acts as a neurotransmitter. So what is neurotransmitter? If this is one neuron, say, right, and these are the nodes. So from this neuron, you can say another neuron is getting attached, right? And this is how one neuron will release some chemicals which get attached with the second neuron through neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitter means what? Whenever there is a stimuli, the information needs to pass from one neuron to another. So this information is passed with the help of a neurotransmitter, right? Which we also call synapse. So glycine, glycine acts like a neurotransmitter. Glutamic acid acts as a neurotransmitter, and tyrosine forms thyroid hormone. Tyrosine forms thyroid hormone. If you see T for tyrosine, T for thyroid hormone. Clear, everyone? Yes. This is the function of non-essential amino acids. Coming to deficiency. Deficiency of amino acid means what? If there is a deficiency of amino acid, the person will suffer from some certain disorders. So if we see the disorders, it includes edema. Edema is the swelling of some tissues, right? Next, anemia. Anemia is what? Anemia is the loss of RBC, or you can say less amount of RBC. Insomnia means what? No sleep. No sleep. We call it insomnia. Diarrhea, watery stool. Depression, you all know. Hypoglycemia is basically low amount of sugar. Low amount, or you can write low sugar. Low sugar. Loss of appetite, you know, fat deposit in the liver, we call it fatty liver. Fatty liver. Skin and hair related problem, headache, weakness, irritability, and fatigue, right? So these are the deficiencies which happen if the amino acids will not be in a sufficient amount needed by our body. So you have to take proper diet, and it is very necessary to maintain the healthy lifestyle to it is very necessary to maintain a healthy lifestyle uh, for our body to function in a very normal and a proper way, right? So that's all about amino acids, right? Classification of amino acid, if possible, we will discuss in next class, right? Thank you so much, students, for watching this session. Bye bye. Take care, everyone.